equipment in the Hudson City Park in the middle of town. It is a very exciting project that, as you can see here, taking out everything that we've kind of got in the south part of the park, and replacing it. So there was a couple of things that we're gonna say, but this is a very cool, up-to-date, inclusive structure that we're looking at getting. It does have poured concrete around the outside, you can kind of see, and then there's some poured in place sections that are around the bright blues are the poured in place sections, and then the kind of blackish gray would be more of the rubber mulch type of material that's put on those structures. But the access to it, and is there more pictures of it?
Yeah, scroll down.
It's really cool. It's got a pirate on a pirate ship too. It's really cool. This is the same Dostal, not Dostal, place, what's the company called? I forgot.
Commercial recreation.
Yeah, it used to be something different, but they also have installed the Cedar Falls Place to Play Park. They were behind our orders for the splash pad as well, so they're very familiar with our community. But there's a whole lot of cool stuff that's in there. And then they took out a dolphin that was on the front of one of the boats and put a pirate on it for us instead of a dolphin.
It'll be the school logo.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a really cool structure for us all. What we had asked, that's the front of the boat. How cool is that? So what we had asked for, or what we had talked about at one point, was Patrick from that had given us a bid, there's the whole structure.
You can turn it.
Yeah, which is a really cool structure. Some of the things that it includes are definitely, we use the word inclusivity, and it's not just mobile inclusivity, it's sight, sound, a lot of other things that go along with that too that they specialize in. I don't know what you're doing.
Just turn it. Just
Oh,
turn it
there
so
you
you
go.
can see it.
Trying to help you
Thanks, I appreciate that, because I'm off of my stuff right now. There you go.
anytime.
So yeah, look at how cool that is. To the right, that you can't really see in this picture, but there's like a little boy running, there was a merry-go-round thing, that's like a selfie station too, that you can set your phones in and have it recording, and you can take pictures of the kids as they're going around.
Gosh.
So there's some really cool inclusive stuff that's in this, and we wanted to make it especially good for everybody. What we had asked them to do though is when you looked at that spot where there was the couple of spots, the bright blue poured in place section, and then the rest of it is the rubber mulch material. We had them give us a quote on doing the entire thing in poured in place, rather than having any of that rubber mulch. Now, mind you, there is a 5-foot sidewalk all the way around it, so it will be contained in there. So mowing shouldn't be a problem with it, or edging or anything like that. When Patrick came back with this last quote, for an additional $47,000, they could make the whole thing poured in place. So, before discussing any further, now that 47 was not in the original grant request, so that would come strictly out of our budget, would have to go push it another $47,000 to do that.
The overall project cost was how much? 250?
218.
218.
And was
Yeah,
that about 70% in grants?
The quote that's in here includes that 47,000 or whatever that increase was for that option. So it ends up being like 218,000, and we have $182,700 in
grants.
grants.
So yeah, it's more than
Most of that
70.
from the Blackhawk Gaming was 50% of the cost?
Correct.
Yeah.
Is there if the concrete lasts longer versus the mulchy stuff?
The mulchy stuff is just, can it be thrown like pea gravel? Will it not stay in there? Is
So
it
it's not the rubber matting that's fixed,
No.
it's actually a loose material?
Yeah.
correct?
Oh, because that's a big difference.
Whereas
What
the
I've
blue
seen at a
part
lot of
is what's
parks,
called the
it's
poured in
actually,
place,
correct.
it's just one
Yeah.
mat.
Yeah, the
Correct.
poured in place is just all one.
It's almost
piece.
like a concrete, but it's a spongy
It's-
material that they
Oh,
pour
so
on
that's
top
that's
of
what
spongy.
you're
it.
talking about for the, oh, okay, yeah.
It's just
that's-
whether they make it one pour of the spongy as opposed to all the pebbles.
No,
Right,
tracking.
like we would never do,
$47,000.
we would never do pea gravel again, obviously,
Right.
because of how it is.
So much,
right?
I hear it all the
You
time.
can't do wood chips anymore because they get bugs in them and they're
Splinters.
splinters and all that stuff. This is today's version of that, is that rubber mulch, that's what everybody's using.
And we have the rubber mulch down at the playground equipment that is at the ball fields.
Right, and that's what we went with specifically because of those reasons at the ball field, was the rubber mulch. So, to me, this is a great combo between the two. However, I wanted to bring it to council to say, what are your guys' thoughts about adding an extra 50 grand to do the whole thing paid in poured in place, that's a hard thing to say really fast, versus what we planned for to begin with.
So where we have it, do we have any troubles with that, getting moved all over? I mean, does it stay in place pretty well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you have the kids that throw it at each other, but I think most of it stays where it's at.
Well, it's also not gonna hurt a lawnmower to go over either, you
Right.
know what I mean, if a chunk of it or
Not gonna
something.
fly.
Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
Whereas pea gravel, it shoots out and hits somebody.
Yeah.
So that is just discussion at this point, it's not anything for us to vote on, but wanted to get your guys' thoughts. To me, this is not a lifetime playground, you know, it will be replaced and updated sometime in our future. I like the rubber mulch for the cost of it. Could something be done in the future that changes it? Maybe, I don't know, but it's gonna be updated someday.
It would also seem that if we had a major problem with the pieces,
With the
that
pour in
could be
place.
pulled out and then do a pour in place, but that could be an opportunity to do another grant request and say, hey,
We
we
need to
really
fix.
need to upgrade this and.
Yeah, had we put this in the original stuff and we could have gotten the grants for this too, it would have been a no-brainer to do. But we didn't think about it till after, you know, it came up afterwards in the discussions, so it was not included. We were just excited to get this far. So I guess, council thoughts on,
I say save the 50,000.
Me too.
I mean, if it was 10,000, it's a different story.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
It's 50,000,
Yeah.
it's a whole different ballgame in my opinion.
right.
Yeah, I think if we're not having troubles with it over there.
Yeah, I don't
then
think so.
why
I haven't
not?
heard
And I
anything.
can't say that Public Works has complained about it.
Matt, anything?
I mean, you can guess my opinion.
Never mind, I should have known, right? Save the 50 grand?
Yeah,
All right, okay,
Yeah.
I think then we don't need to change anything on what we've already approved
No.
for it either,
No,
so that was
and I
kinda,
will, I'll send an email out to Patrick, and just let him know, hey, this is what we discussed, these are the
Right.
colors and whatever.
so we are getting the final grant, is supposed to come out sometime in May or June now?
Yeah, the one that is from DNR, is not awarded till either the end, I think it's the end of May, so,
So as soon as we get that, then we're gonna order, and we can't order before we get that, can we?
right.
So as soon as we get that awarded, we're gonna order that same exact time, which that should put, the stuff coming in like fall, and we're hoping to have it still installed this year,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's just timing of everything, that there wasn't anything I could do about it.
Nope, so,
I was hoping to have it.
hopefully that's
in
something
summer.
these guys might like, and new playground equipment, or even younger kids, brothers and sisters might like,
Well, we're
right?
gonna take the rocket down. Is that
No.
okay?
No,
No, we're not touching the
taking
rocket.
Serious
I just
concern
wanna see
on
the
your
reaction.
faces.
No, nobody, I'm telling you, I will have protests in front of our houses or something going
Yeah.
on if we try to touch this stinking rocket slide, so.
It's gonna be another 25 years before you can even think about it.
50,
not in my lifetime, we'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Not mine.
How long has that been around?
70-something,
Well,
early
they were,
70s.
we were having that discussion Saturday at the park at that, it was like late
74?
60s, early 70s.
You know what, there was-
Wow.
it was there 50 years ago and I got married here. So,
We're looking to get it, that is a project in the work, just so everybody knows. Getting it sandblasted and updated.
Yeah.
That sounds.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
yeah.
So
Okay.
thank you guys for your
All
input.
right, thanks. General government, item A, discussion action to approve resolution 2914, resolution for approval of employment for the city of Hudson, Iowa for the position of Kids Adventure Director for summer 2022.
so moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Reister,
Aye,
Lawson,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item B, discussion action to approve resolution 2915, a resolution for approval of insurance coverage proposal for the city of Hudson, Iowa, which Gail commented on.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Sewell,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister,
aye,
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Number of informational items in the packet, reminder items, regular scheduled meetings held at council chambers, except for the library board. Public Works, April 13th at 7 a.m. Mayor's Task Force is canceled for this. I was off my old agenda, sorry.
It's okay.
Personnel Committee meeting, April 25th at 4:45. Public Safety, April 24th at 4 p.m. Next council meeting is April 25th at 6 PM and May 9th at 6 PM.
Move
Matt,
to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor say aye.